What's up? Joe Grow here, Ganja Engineer, doing more programming. What we have in front of us is a little 3D triangle. I can spin it around pressing these buttons. I can rotate it different ways. I can zoom in on it and change some properties of it. And what you see in front of you is not rendered classically. It's rendered using particles. So particles are making this. And the particles that are making it are encoded into the surface mask and the texture mask. So this and this equals this. And when I press buttons to rotate it, I'm not rotating it classically in rendering. I'm actually changing the way that these get read. They get phase shifted when they're getting read. And so I'll zoom in on this and I will decrease my particle size so you can see the particles, and you see it's just the surface area of this triangle is made out of particles. All the particles are collected together. Right now they're being emulated as billboards in Echo. They are voxel data points that represent screen pixel space. But this is not necessarily Echo running this. It's just an emulation of Echo, a small key component of Echo. So if I go to this one here, you can see that I actually have the insides represented in data as well. If I just scroll around this, you can see inside of the triangle. Let me zoom out a little bit. If I zoom around this, you can see inside the triangle. And this is enough to represent a triangle. I can just increase the particle size here. So that way it's all filled in. That's too much. Nope. Somewhere in there. And each one of these little billboards, is representing a pixel. I have it zoomed in right now. So if I zoom it out to pixel level, you'll see that aside from, some of the data getting missing, it's working quite well. These are actual sized particles now. Each particle is the size of a pixel on my screen, and it's a world, a virtual world, which is working in particles. I will show you the stick version. So here I have this stick, which I can change the pitch and the yaw and the roll of it. Complete orientation change, and that's represented by this mask data. So texture mask, and that says surface mask, but it actually has the insides in this. So if I zoom in on it like that and I make my particles smaller, you'll see that this is actually made of particles and that it has a volume. Putting a volume in there in memory takes up a lot more VRAM when dealing with larger games that are going to be pixelized. So you think of Minecraft, but you're so big in the Minecraft world that you can't see blocks anymore. But you can see, even if I make these the size of the actual pixels, how they would be represented, you see those holes in there? That's the representation right now. In Echo, that'll just be holes in the read data. So as I roll this around, you see the billboards that I'm emulating as pixel particles are staying upright, as pixels should, but they also interpolate not as pixels do, in a quantized way. Not until I zoom all the way out into pixel land. And then if I zoom the camera in here to where we can see the pixels, hopefully we can, you can see that they're still being represented as the billboards, as the pixels, But any of them that are overlapping or behind determines on which ones are really visible. So when it's that small in your screen space made out of pixels, you don't notice the inherent, I guess, emptiness of such a thing. Now if I keep rotating this, I'm going to find a region where, okay, there's these black pixels in here. I don't know if you can see them. No, we can't see them through the phone because they're a contrast thing. The white is too big. Let me roll this a little bit. Roll it to the other side. You can see where the data, you can see where the billboards are analyzing to the discrete metric of the pixels. And it actually would be hard to get anti-analyzing properties in the voxel world, but we're gonna do it. Alright, that's my demo for particle driven rendering, something we currently don't do. What we currently do is we draw vertices and then we draw triangles between those vertices, and then we rasterize those triangles to the square pixel screen space, like a projector from the camera sitting behind the screen. This is more of an indexed, discrete voxel world. You can think of it as a Minecraft block where each block is the size of a pixel. Alright, peace out.